Hello, my name is Eduardo Claro. I'm an Oracle Ace Pro, and in this video I'm going to show you how to download and install the Docker container with the latest version of the Oracle database, which is Oracle 23 AI, just launched weeks ago. This is the third video and the last one of this series where I first showed how to install the Oracle Instant Client in an ARM-based MacBook. Then I showed how to install Colima and Docker. Colima to emulate and allow containers prepared with software to run in Intel-based computers to run via emulation in these ARM-based computers. And then I'm going to use this infrastructure, this architecture that I have built in the first two videos in order to have this container with an Oracle database, which was created to run in Intel-based architecture. But with this architecture, I'll be able to run it in my MacBook ARM-based computer. So if you have not seen my previous videos, I invite you to go. So if you have not seen yet my previous videos, I invite you to go to my blog or this YouTube channel to check them out. Before we start, here's an important information for you. Although I'm using this ARM-based architecture that I explained before, this tutorial here, these steps are going to work just the same way in any Intel-based computer, whether you're using Windows or Linux or even MacBook in an Intel-based computer. So you can follow the very same steps even if you're not using the ARM-based computers, okay? So here's the command, docker run, and I'm going to explain each option that I'm using. The -d shows or tells the Docker that I want the container to be detached from the run command, meaning it will be running non-stop until I stop it, right? The dash name is obviously determining the name of the container, which I'm naming 23AI. And then the -p is showing the ports that I'm going to expose. So I'm saying with this parameter that I want the container port 1521, which is the listener port, to be exposed in my local host as 1623. Which means whenever I try to connect to my local host port 1623, the Docker software is going to forward this connection to the container port 1521. And then lastly, I'm providing the target or the source of the container, right? So where I want to download the container image from, which is the container registry Oracle website, and I'm getting the latest free version, which is the 23AI. Okay, so when I run this command, it's going to, the first thing it's going to check if the image is available in your local computer, in your local Docker images, and it's not because it's a new installation, so it's going to download the software directly from this website. An important information here, I've seen in the past that if you try to download software from container registry.oracle.com, sometimes it requires you to be registered in the website. I don't have the proper information here. I didn't take notes when this happened to me. But if it happens to you, if it shows a message saying that you need to be registered, it's pretty easy for you to find in the internet how to do that, and it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so it's downloaded the software. Another important thing is if you check the tutorials, many of the tutorials would use the option -v of the docker run command, and this option asks Docker to create the files, in this case the data files, in outside the container, so it would the data files would be accessible directly from your host computer. But when I tried to do this, I was facing a lot of problems with permissions and things like this. I think it's because of this other layer of virtualization that I have, which is Colima. So just to simplify things, I opted not to use this dash v option. So in my case, my data files and my database will be only accessible directly inside the Docker container, which is not a problem for me because this is just a lab for me to test SQL and things like this. Okay. So I'm gonna pause the video now and wait a little bit because this download may take some time, some minutes, and I'll be back when it is about to finish or finished already. Okay, now the download is finished, and if everything is okay, now I have a container running Oracle 23 AI database. So the first thing I want to show is how to check if the container is running, which is Docker PS. So it shows all the containers that are running, and in my case I have only one container running with the name 23 AI, and I can see here that the port 1521 of the container is exposed as 1623, just like I put in my docker run command. If I want to see all the containers that I have, even the ones that are not running, I use the dash A, which means all, and in this case I only have one, right? Another thing I want to show you is how to see the logs of the container. So docker logs 23 AI, and it's showing here that it started the listener and the database is open, right? So everything seems to be okay. If for whatever reason I need to stop the container, I just need to issue docker stop and the name of the container, and then after that, if I want to restart it, docker start 23 AI. I'm not gonna do this because I would have to wait again for it to be up and running. Okay. uh, so the next step is I'm gonna run a script that is provided with this container to set the password for system, sys, etc. So docker exec -it, the name of the container is 23 AI, and the script that is provided inside the container is set password, and then I'm providing the parameter Oracle, which is going to be the password for my users like sys and system. So you can see that the script connected to the database and issued some outer user commands, and it has finished. Okay. So before I can connect to the database, or before I connect to the database, let me show you how to call a shell and connect to the container. So I'm gonna issue this docker exec command again and calling the bash. So when I do this, you see that the prompt is changed, and if I issue host name, now it shows the name of my container, not the 23 AI, but I think it's the name of the image actually. But this is so you can see that I am in the container now. So ps-ef grep pmon. I can see that the Oracle instance free is running, and if I issue SQL plus /s sysdba, I can connect to the database just like you are used to. Okay, 23 AI database. Okay, and SQL plus system/Oracle. Okay, so the password Oracle is working because I have just ran the script to set this password. Okay, let me come back to my host computer, my Mac, and then I'm gonna show you how to connect to the container, but not as the Oracle user, but as the root user. So I'm providing a new parameter here, which is -u, and with the number 0, which is the ID of the root user. So now I am connected to the container, as a root, and then I can install new software using yum and all the things that I want to change in a normal Linux computer. Okay, let me exit here. Oh, okay. Let me just show another thing from the container. So let me show you that the listener is running and it knows the services. So the database, the CDB database is free, and the container, the PDB is free, PDB1. Okay, so if I issue system/oracle at free PDB1, it works. Okay, and I can use the easy connection notation, so providing the host, comma, the listener port, and then slash and free PDB1, it works. Please note that since I am inside the container, I'm providing the real port of the listener, which is 1521. Okay, now I'm gonna come back to my host Mac computer, and then I'm gonna try to connect the exact same way. So system password oracle at localhost, but since I am in my host computer, I have that port forward, and in order for me to access the port 1521 inside the container, I have to provide the port 1623, which is the port that I asked Docker to forward, right? And then slash free pdb1. Okay, and then I'm connected. Okay, so my Oracle Instance client from the host computer is able to connect to the database inside the container seamlessly, just like any other configuration. Okay, uh, one last thing I want to tell you. So, for me at least, sometimes when I followed all these steps, for some reason I was not able to find out why. When I try to connect from the host computer using this port forwarding, it doesn't work and it shows the message no listener. It's not happening right now. Okay, so sometimes I do all the steps the same way, the exact same way, and it shows no listener. But when I go inside the container and issue the same command but using the port 1521, it's still working. So it's something related to the port forwarding not working. And as I said, I have not been able to uh, find out why this was happening before. And the only way I was able to solve this problem was to remove the 23 AI container, to delete the Colima virtual machine and then restart from there, recreating the Colima virtual machine, and then re-downloading and recreating the 23 AI container, and then doing exactly the same things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I guess it's probably something related to these two layers of virtualization, Colima uh, and Docker. So something is wrong there. I don't know if it's a bug or something that I should be configuring. I guess it's not the latest because, as I said, I did everything the same way, and sometimes it works and sometimes it's not. So if it happens to you, just remember, just delete the container and the Colima virtual machine and do all these steps again, and it will probably work. And if it happens that you know why is that and maybe what I'm doing wrong, please let me know. Okay, I think that's it for now. I hope you enjoy it. And now I have a 23 AI database up and running and not consuming all the resources that an entire virtual machine would be consuming in my host, because this is just a Docker container, right? So I hope you enjoy it, and it can help you if you don't have access to any other way of having Oracle 23C running for you to test. This is a good way to have it. Enjoy and see you next time. Bye bye.